Hello, and welcome to the December episode of Hingham Happenings. I'm your host, Katie Geiger. In honor of Veterans Day, we'll take a step back in time to hear about the lives of the brave Tuskegee Airmen who fought in World War II. We'll also see how the Cell School honors their Hingham veterans. Then we'll see how the Cell School celebrates Thanksgiving by viewing their Thanksgiving feast, and by getting a first-hand encounter with a Plymouth Plantation pilgrim. Next, we'll get geared up for the Christmas season with Talbots' annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony and Red Cross donation. But first, let's take a look at the presentation about the brave Tuskegee Airmen who fought for our country in World War II.
As part of Veterans Week, the Hingham Public Library opened its doors to the public and presented a program centered on the Tuskegee Airmen who served our country during World War II. At a time when
the U.S. military was racially segregated, the skill and success of these talented and courageous airmen were critical factors in the desegregation of the U.S. military. There were nearly 1,000 black pilots, also known as Black Eagles, who were in their commissions and wings at Tuskegee from 1941 to 1946.
the main speaker was Diane Marie Hervey, and she's the daughter of the late Colonel Henry Hank Hervey. Her father was one of the original Tuskegee Airmen, a bomber pilot in the 477th Bomber Group.
The Tuskegee Airmen comprise of two units: the single engine group, and the twin engine group.
My dad wanted to be a fighter pilot.
My father got his license in 1941 at the Harlem Airport in Chicago. And he wanted to enlist. And there were a lot of very competent black people who had their license, and they wanted to enlist. So what happened is the powers that be within the black community got together and they convinced the powers that be, on the other hand, that they needed some type of place for them to go. So the armed forces decided that they would start a program, especially for black people. And they had four places that they could have chosen to send them. But because of the weather and the size of the field and a few other things, they decided to send them to Tuskegee Institute. There were thousands that enlisted to go there. Out of those thousands, 996 of them passed.
And Miss Hervey also provided some interesting information about the red tails.
They put red on their tails because they just wanted to be noticed. And for the most part, the people who the red tails were guarding did not really be black. But they kept asking for the red tails. And there's some funny stories there. It worked out pretty well.
It's a great story that deserves more than just the Hollywood treatment that we've seen. So much to it, and I think if you don't mind spending a little time in the library and reading some of the material, I think you'll come away enriched in that respect as well. But you can tell how powerful this story really is, and I'm pleased that you were able to come tonight. And Dr. John Rice for helping you.
For HCAN TV, I'm Ryan Allen.
Veterans Day is a very important holiday to many Americans. It's the day when we can honor the great men and women who fought for our freedom. Let's see how the kids at the Cell School honor our Hingham veterans.
So I think at this point, the fifth graders who are putting on the assembly are ready to start the assembly. So let me give the right person the microphone.
Hello, welcome to our Veterans Day Assembly. We'd like to introduce some very incredible veterans today. In 1918, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, fighting stopped in World War I. Sunday, November 11th, used to be known as Armistice Day, to commemorate the end of that war. Armistice Day officially became a holiday in the United States in 1926, and a national holiday 12 years later.
On June 1st, 1954, the name was changed to Veterans Day to honor all U.S. veterans. It is always celebrated on the exact date of the 11th of November, regardless of which weekday it falls on. A veteran is anyone who is serving or has served in the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, and Marines to keep us safe and free.
Sunday, Veterans Day, is a day to honor veterans living and dead who have given so much to protect our country. This year, with our armed forces protecting us overseas and at home, Veterans Day is even more important. Our veterans are the reason we have so much freedom in this country. They certainly are a great example of being responsible. Please quietly raise your hand if you know a veteran. We are very fortunate to have some veterans from the South School family here with us today.
So let's all be kind and think of veterans. This song demonstrates the pride we have in our country and in our veterans. This is meant to be enthusiastic and respectful tribute to our veterans. Please sing our patriotic music. If you know the words, feel free to join us in singing.
The Cell School always holds many great events, one of which is the Thanksgiving feast, where 5th graders dress up as Indians and pilgrims and serve a wonderful meal to their peers. Let's see how the Cell School pulled it off this year.
What's going to happen? Hey, this is a beautiful song. Some of you might know it. When fall comes to New England, the sun sets in so fine, and the air is so clear, you can almost hear the rain go. The nights are sharp with starlight, and the days are cool and clear. And in the blue sky overhead, the northern geese fly south instead. And these are Irish setter red,
when fall comes to New England, and the wind is turned away. Swallows fly in a perfect sky, and the world was meant to be. When the acorns fly, the walk breaks, then winter can be hard. And yellow leaves, the tree calls, grandmothers walk out in their shawls, and chipmunks run the old stone walls. When fall comes to New England. Frost is on the pumpkin, squash is on the vine, winter morning grace across the sky. Squirrels are on something, they're working overtime. Foxes blinking stand, so do I. 'Cause when fall comes to New England, oh, I can't turn away from fading lights on flying wings, and late goodbyes a robin sings, and then another thousand things. When fall comes to New England, when fall comes to New England.
Nice round of applause for that, boys and girls. Very good. Very, very good. Excellent.
Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving from South School!
We had the great honor of having a Plymouth Plantation pilgrim in our own hometown last month. She gave us a first-hand encounter of what it's like to be a pilgrim. Let's take a look.
Good day. Is that what you say, hi? I say good day. That makes me a bit different, doesn't it?
A boat.
A boat called?
The Mayflower.
Thank you for raising your hand. Yes.
Did you have Thanksgiving with the Indians?
Yes, they showed up sort of on accident. We didn't actually invite them. So imagine that you have 4 people in your family and you are all sitting down to people and 12 people knocked on the door and said, hello, we're gonna stay for dinner for 3 days. Would that be surprising? That's sort of what happened to us. We were having a big dinner because we had a very good harvest. So we harvested the Indian corn. Have you ever seen the Indian corn?
Yeah, it's red.
It can be red, yes.
Yeah, it can be yellow. Whoa.
Right. We call it party colored. It's all sorts of colors.
Did you have pets back then?
Yes, but if we are going to feed an animal to take care of it, it costs a lot of money, doesn't it? So that animal has to be doing something for me. Like there are dogs who help me hunt. And there are dogs that will protect me if someone attacks me. But do I want a dog that will just sit next to me and lick my face?
No.
No, that's a lot of money for that. So we've got cats in my town, but we don't feed them. If you feed a cat, you're a very silly person. Why? Yes.
Maybe. Do you have fish in that thing?
There are fish, yes.
Then why did you not feed a cat?
Why don't I think people should feed cats? What are cats able to do?
They're able to get they have claws sometimes, and then if you feed them, they want more food, and you won't give them any more, and then they'll attack you.
They won't attack me. Do you know what they'll attack? It hunts. Cats hunt. Did you know that?
Cats hunt?
Yes, just like tigers and lions, cats hunt. Only nowadays we feed them cat food, so they're very lazy and they sleep a lot. But cats actually, if you leave them alone, they will hunt at night and find their own food. So pilgrims never feed cats. They think that's crazy, right? Because cats will feed themselves and it's expensive. I will feed a goat because I will eat a goat later. And I will get milk from the goat. Do you know you can milk a goat?
Yeah. You get cheese.
Yes, and make cheese out of the milk. So chickens, you get eggs, and you can eat the chickens. This is what people wore all the time in the 1600s. This is ordinary clothes. So this is my underwear called a shift or a smock, and it's also my pajamas. And this is my petticoat, and it's fastened to my bodies. That's called bodies. It just goes down to here. And this is my apron. And that was my waistcoat that I had on when I come in, right? Waistcoat. This is my coif, right? Covering my hair. And this is ordinary clothes for a woman in the 1600s. Actually a fishing reel. So you lay this on the deck of the ship, and you put a hook on the end and a weight and a cork. And when you catch the fish, you reel it in like that.
It's almost like a fishing rod.
You're right, because on a fishing rod, there's a little reel on the rod, isn't there?
And you hold on to the fishing rod and there's a wheel and you reel it up.
Exactly, so you can actually read things that people wrote a long, long time ago. And we have got books written by pilgrims. We've got real books written by pilgrims about pilgrim life. So I've read a lot of those things. I've read a lot of those things. But guess what? Hands down, everybody who writes a book is a man. Am I a man?
No.
So I have to think very hard about what women's lives were like. And one way I can learn about women's lives is in paintings, because people painted pictures of women, right? Doing things. And another way is there are women who write little journals, not from Plymouth, but from around that time. So I read.
The holiday season is just around the corner, and Talbots certainly knows how to throw a celebration at their house. We hope this segment will help you get into the Christmas spirit.
The cattle are lowing, the baby awakes, the lame, the Lord Jesus.
A week before Thanksgiving, holiday cheer echoed through the walls inside of a Hingham 16th century colonial-style building that is also the home to Talbots. The retailer celebrated the start of the giving season by presenting a check to the American Red Cross for over $101,000. All of the money will go towards disaster relief efforts. Talbots president, Lisanna Kindler, explained why Talbots loves to give back.
We're proud. It's very much part of the brand to give back to community, and it's very much part of what our associates believe and do, and it's important for us and our customers. So I feel very fortunate to be here this evening and have such a successful evening.
Talbots Director of Corporate Communications, Betsy Thompson, also expressed the importance of helping those in need.
Potential has always been one of our the hallmarks for the brand, is that we never give up. And I think that speaks a lot to the Red Cross. The Red Cross never gives up on people. They're often the first in to help in the most dire times of need. And Talbots is really proud to just provide any kind of support to help them do that.
The Women's Clothing and Apparel Company raised donations for the Red Cross at their second annual Give Back Sample Sale this past Veterans Day. The two-day sample sale featured sweaters, scarves, coats, jewelry, and many other gift items between $2 and $50, all sold at the company's headquarters located in Hingham. Today, Talbots has over 500 stores in the United States, and the first store opened here in Hingham in 1947. And the founders of the store with the red door also had a direct connection with the Red Cross.
Our founder, Nancy Talbot, was in the Red Cross when she met her husband, Rudy, overseas during World War II. And it's very nice for us to be able to carry on their legacy and their understanding of what it means to give back.
Cameron Markley is a member of the board of directors for the Eastern Massachusetts chapter of the American Red Cross, and she received the check on the humanitarian organization's behalf.
Very, very moved by the organization, by Talbots. They've done a phenomenal job of bringing out all of their samples and having this big sale, and they raised over $100,000. It was just absolutely incredible.
The season of giving in the South Shore was also officially underway once after Talbots lit up the Hingham Square with the lighting of the town's giant 50-plus foot Christmas tree. Those in attendance could feel the good spirit and enjoy the night.
Beautiful festive evening. The children from St. Paul's did a great job singing, and just meeting all those fantastic people. So impressed.
Be a part of this tradition. It's an amazing brand and an amazing town and the start of a wonderful holiday season.
And Talbots does plan to continue these Hingham traditions in the future.
Christmas tree outside, which is beautiful, and another tradition that Talbots has had for many, many years in this particular location.
Going forward, we are looking for ways that we can continue that proud partnership of supporting an organization that means so much to our history, but also is very meaningful in the communities where we conduct business. The red door that we always talk about, when that door closes, it's the sound of coming home, and you're always welcome here. So thank you all for you again.
For HCAM TV, I'm Ryan Allen.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Hingham Happenings. From all of us here at HCAM, happy holidays, Hingham.